Let's firstly take a look at the first three highlights, and with me in the commentary box, Dennis Cometti and Bernie Quinlan. But Spalding takes the mark, gets it to Healy. His hand pass is well blocked. Off the ground by Russo, back to Elphinston, who started all of that. Gets it to Dwyer. Good play by the Saints. Gotch in the mud patch. Good kick out of there to half forward. Low out number 2-1. It comes to Sheldon. A fly hack straight onto the chest of a teammate in front of goal. That was a great move by the Saints. Through the centre. Owen goals.
Takes the mark. It was intended for Grant. Eichhold, centering kick. Turner in best position. Great mark in from the side by Lyon. On the outer side, it's taken by Daniels. Held without it, surely. No free kick.
Down goes Healy. In the back, says the umpire. Right in front, 40 metres from goal. This could be a vital kick for the Demons. Good distance. What a kick that was by Healy.
Paul Harding, as Bruce said earlier, very valuable acquisition. Russo can't control it. Steins has got it. Gets the hand pass away. Elphinston tries to go off the ground. Spills across to Daniels. Upended as he got the hand pass away. Overrun by Turner. Steins the soccer kick into the path of Lyons. Lyons sees around the corner Jackson. Jackson couldn't hang on. He got his fingertips to it. He picks it up though. Gives it back to Steins. And Steins 15 metres out gets the goal.
Newport couldn't take the mark. Comes to Yates. Centering kick. Lyon, who has been an absolute star. 2 marks, 7 kicks to Gary Lyon. Puts it to Spalding, who marks in front, 35 metres from goal. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. His kick is good. Lyon taps down to Healy. Back to Dean. Hooks it up to the goal square. Clever kick. Chance here for Melbourne. Wilson picks up, snaps and goals.
Dean running into the teeth of that roar down at that end. May not have heard the whistle, but it matters not. Here's Lowe, and they want another 50. This time it's not forthcoming. Winmar's got the hand pass from Lowe. High kick downwards, full forward. Lowe pushing the back, great mark, and the mark is going to be paid. He's working very hard on the forward line. Rod Owen. From about 15 metres out, awkward angle, but he's got the goal.
Now St Kilda free kick to Harding, who's got a new jumper, having had it ripped off by O'Dwyer. 55-metre kick to half forward. Sheldon on his chest. St Kilda working this ball well with the breeze in the second term. Sheldon up high for Owen. Not quite this time. Gotcha snap. Grant is there. The ball plugs and Grant goes.
Throw in. Harding wins it down, but the free kick is going to Steve O'Dwyer. Dwyer, it's close. Yes, it's a goal.
Dwyer in there recklessly with feet. St Kilda keep it going forward. That's a better pick up by Dwyer. His kick to half forward is good to Sheldon, and Sheldon marks in front, 48 metres from goal. Leans back on a spiral torpedo, but it wobbles. Owen! Long run up. And he's kicked it.
Who boots it back towards the half-forward line for the Saints. Off hands, it falls to Gotch. Hurried kick down towards full forward. Owen in best position. Almost the mark. It falls to Winmar. He's still got the run of it and support, but he left the ball behind. Hughes slung off it. Winmar, magically done. Winmar, great goal.
Towards the outer wing. Foed over the top. Dwyer lost sight of it. Couple of quick hand passes. Beveridge eventually. Lyon unmarked. Gary Lyon. Good effort. Champion.
Paul Spalding has the ball at right half forward.
Inside the 50 he goes with his kick. Almost a Lyon. Lyon still after it. Oh, it comes out to Healy. Might have been a St Kilda hand pass. Healy snaps and goals. The Demons had first use of the breeze and led by 19 points at quarter time, still by 9 points at half time. Good third quarter by St Kilda, and the Saints trailed by just 10 points going into the last term. They were coming home with the breeze. We pick up the last quarter at the start. St Kilda down by 10 points, coming home with a stiff breeze in this final term. Melbourne first to get it out through Stretch, but his kick is intercepted by Fode, who had a good third quarter. His kick smothered, touched off the boot. Gotch gets it going St Kilda's way. Gets a push in the back from O'Dwyer, and the ball will come back for Gotch's free kick. This looks like being very close, because the breeze is probably worth more than 2 goals by what St Kilda trail. But in these conditions, it might be a little bit less than that. Russo, been an excellent player for the Saints. His kick smothered by White. Comes back to Owen, who had a weak but fumble. Newport shrugs the tackle. The kick covers no distance. Hasn't gone 10 metres. The umpire doesn't pay the mark. Sheldon over his head. Newport diving on it. Fode laid it like an egg though. Beveridge is there. Umpire allowing play to go on. Comes to Burke. His left footer a chance, but Grinter in front takes a good mark.
Grinter at half back in the shadows of the stand. Comes out very wide. Phoebe's in front. Couldn't hang on. Healy to Beveridge. Good shepherd from O'Dwyer. Beveridge's kick not a particularly good one. Wilson fell over. So did Corkamillis, who slaps it out to accommodate Frawley. He's in deep trouble. To Russo. The hurried kick back towards half forward. Lowe. Lunging mark. He was quiet in the third quarter. Stuart Lowe will contest inside 50. Coming out is White. Great judgment. It falls to Healy. Strong tackle by Winmar. Still they battle. Down goes Owen. Socked forward by Grant. Burke couldn't control it. Off the ground, an attempt by Dwyer. Side foot by Burke is a goal.
And that's a great start to the quarter by the Saints. That's what the doctor ordered. And they've fought hard to get the ball in that forward line. There it is, off the ground. Nathan Burke, the player, finishing it off for the Saints. They fought on very hard to get that ball down there. And tremendous dedicated stuff by St Kilda to stay in this match with Melbourne.
The margin 4 points. O'Dwyer wins in the middle. It comes to Gotch. He's had good distance with a lot of his kicks today. Dwyer almost a mark. Steins at the back. Slips out the hand pass to Lovett. Around the corner, and Phoebe takes a good mark at halfback. Off the side of the boot and straight into the crowd, I was going to say, but Healy takes the mark just inside the line. That gained about 5 metres for the team. Very difficult to kick into this breeze. Pack gathers. Teammates clash. Corkamillis comes out with it. And the umpire will throw it in the air once more. 8-4 to 7-6. Melbourne by 4 points.
Well, the Demons pride themselves on winning the close ones. It seems they're going to be tested here again this afternoon. O'Dwyer decisively down to Eichel. The high kick towards half forward. Jackson's in front. He's taken a strong mark. Plays on quickly. Healy has been superb. Goes down towards the pocket. In front is Spalding. He was held surely, and Spalding will get the free kick. Not much doubt about that. He played it very cleverly. Knocked the ball onto his own advantage. And was held by Barker. Greg Healy, 28 possessions so far in this game. Here's Spalding. 8-4 to 7-6. He's right on the boundary line. Whoa, it's a shocker. Out of bounds on the full near side.
Well, very difficult scoring at that end. Running into the breeze in the second quarter, Melbourne were able to score just 1 goal. Brad Gotch with the free kick. Gets it up into the air to let the breeze do its work. Comes to the back to Phoebe. Good gather by O'Dwyer. Centering kick. Chance here for Melbourne. Dean's there. Second to the ball though. Comes out to Spalding. His left foot to the forward pocket. Will go out of bounds, beating Lyon.
It's a good move putting Frawley on Gary Lyon, because I think Danny Frawley should pick up the most dangerous forward in the opposing team.
Up go the umbrellas as the rain starts again. So Melbourne's lead of 4 points might be very handy, even though St Kilda have the win. Jackson, the hand pass back to Johnson. Penetrating kick, what a goal!
Well, the goal's almost impossible to come by, kicking in this breeze in this last quarter, especially with the rain. And Alan Johnson, who has had a rather quiet day, Ricky Jackson feeding it out to him. And a great running goal there by Alan Johnson. No one at home in the goal square. It just dribbles through, so a very handy goal to Melbourne.
And the margin back to 10 points, as it was at three-quarter time. The Demons led by 9 points at half-time and 19 at quarter time. Thrown up by umpire Clayton. O'Dwyer. Lyon with courage. Back to O'Dwyer. Scrambles it forward. Elphinston over the ball. Claimed by Johnson. Eichel put his body in. And we've got a whistle. Just over 20 minutes remaining. Bitterly cold. Light rain falling. Harding wins it down. Gotch in deep trouble. To Fode, who missed it. Lyon pulls it back across his body. Corcomulis has got the run of it. In heavy traffic, gains about 5 metres. Dean grabs it now, pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Great mark is almost taken by Wilson. Will it be paid? No, it's a free kick. He's paying a free, I think, the umpire. Almost the mark to Wilson. Running back with the flight of the ball. Rice was there too. And now Wilson directly in front. A chance to make it very difficult for the Saints.
And Spalding hobbling off the ground for Melbourne. It's bad news for the Demons.
And Elphinston coming off for St Kilda.
I think Wilson has just snuck it through. He has.
So, what's with the Lyland brothers? What happened to the wagon?
The Jackaroo is around the same price. With everything. Fuel injection, power steering, automatic if you want it.
Well, what are you going to do with the four-wheel drive?
Kakadu, Fraser Island. Give you a drive.
Yeah, wouldn't mind.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks.
No, let me. Waiter, drinks all around.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
Myer stock-taking sale is now in full swing. Front door, over there, sir. But you better get your skates on. Whoops, now there's a slippery customer. On his way to the Myer stock-taking sale.
They say it's the little things that mean such a lot. They all seem the same, but to Caltex, they're not. Everybody's car needs a good brand, so here's what we've got.
Techron Concentrate cleans your fuel system while you drive.
Let Caltex share the driving with you.
If you're in business, you want advertising that works. Melbourne Big Survey phones are monitoring results in businesses like Custom Tone Kitchens, whose results were immediate. Over 100 calls in 76 days. Paul Agnew placed ads in 2 classifications and says they've performed well beyond expectations. Over 30 calls a week. Is it any wonder Mike Scott calls the Melbourne Big the blue chip directory? Make sure that Melbourne Big is working for your business. Phone right now on 6464 666.
Very handy break now for Melbourne. Harding does well out of the middle. Russo off the ground. Sheldon, great pickup. Shrugs the tackle. Puts it wide. Gotch. Been in everything. Inside half forward. Good punch away by Hughes. Fed out by Steins to Jackson. His kick to centre wing. White. Oh, Foad. Well played. And bangs it to full forward. Slips through White. Goes to Owen. Off he goes to Winmar, who snaps and misses and brings up and behind. A goal would have been handy there.
Yes, that's one goal for Nicky Winmar, and none of those three shots have been particularly difficult ones. Had he kicked straight, St Kilda would have been right in this match at this stage.
Dwyer up there with Daniels, who fisted away. Russo, number 8, has worked tirelessly today for St Kilda. And the ball will be thrown up just inside their 50. Great figures from the former Hawthorn player who played so well last week against his old side. He adds to those figures as he kicks it about 20 metres further afield, but Stretch takes the defensive mark on his chest. 64 Melbourne, 49 St Kilda. Stretch, members side. O'Dwyer, who's played well, couldn't take the mark, but was taken over the shoulder. And Steve O'Dwyer will get the free as Daniels and Lyon wrestle to the ground. So O'Dwyer has played very well. Goes in short, too short. Frawley takes the defensive mark. Forward of centre wing. Away he goes. Danny Frawley miscues with a kick. O'Dwyer gets his hands to it, couldn't control it. Beautifully done. Winmar weaving his magic, pulls it back towards full forward. Grant comes over the top. Hughes couldn't hang on. Winter goes looking for the boundary line. White misses the ball. Will there be a free kick to St Kilda? No. At the base of all of that was Burke. It will be thrown in.
15 points the difference. Melbourne a vital 2 goals early in this quarter. The throw in. Harding and O'Dwyer. It comes to Grant, who's pulled off it. Down goes Owen. Healy threads out a hand pass, and the kick straight out of bounds from Graham Yates. And maybe St Kilda a chance to goal from here.
Well, he's not the best kick in the side.
No.
Daniels, I would have been looking to give it to someone else.
Sheldon was only about 10 metres away. You could have tried that at least, couldn't you, Bernie?
Definitely. It's worth a go, Dennis.
Probably in the hands of the worst kick in the team. Daniels goes for goal in the goal square. And it goes out of bounds in the forward pocket for a boundary throw-in. Well, the question is, can St Kilda get goals out of these forward thrusts? They need 3 goals to win the match. And even if they have it on their forward line for the entire quarter, they might be hard to get. Gotch takes it backwards. Sheldon a snap, but he hooks it. Oh, White kept the ball in, which might have been dangerous. Steins. Oh, how was that for cleverness? He gained about 8 metres, didn't kick it out on the foot.
It's a stat. It'll be thrown in then. Actually, he's the master of the short kick on occasions, Jimmy Steins. Quite often uses it in preference to a hand pass. Winmar in there. There's the time remaining. Opportunity behind for Harding. Shovels it down towards the kickoff line. Through it, says the umpire. Play on the call now. No, Grinter wants to run with it, but it's coming back and will be taken by Steins. Jim Steins. Deep in his own defensive area. Members side. O'Dwyer is up. He was the target. Lowe knocks it forward. Taken by Gotch. Long kick down towards the kickoff line. Burke was in front. Knocked away by White. Good shepherd from Hughes. White hugs the boundary with a kick. Leading back in the race, St Kilda. Picked up out there by Ingleton. Gets the hand pass away. Intended for Winmar. Stretch goes in on him. And the ball's out of bounds.
Ingleton hasn't played much of the game for St Kilda. He was interchanged in the first quarter. It's about his 2nd touch for the day. Steins wins in ruck. Been a kick in danger there. Love it. Oh, Steins again. Johnson knocked off his kick. Straight back into the pack. And it'll be thrown up just inside the 50. Great Gotch. There's mud in your eye. What an effort Harding's put up today, but Lowe goes in for this one. Ooh, a kick in the face to Russo. Looked as though very similar to Trevor Barker's 3 weeks ago. The umpire will throw it up again.
I think it was his teammate that time, wasn't it, Nicky Winmar?
I can't recognise any players, I'm not sure.
I think it was a size 7. This is Sheldon. Sheldon from about 40 metres. Good effort from there. Hughes gets a fist on it and puts it through for a minor score. 14 points the difference. Still plenty of time. And St Kilda have the breeze. It has dropped a little since three-quarter time. Hughes kicks in. Falls forward of the pack. White scrambles it out towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Steve Newport lifted after half-time. Valuable player in that third quarter up into the breeze for Melbourne. Or rather, when they had the breeze. Over the top, Hughes. Sheldon. Still at Sheldon with a run of it. Off the ground, out of bounds on the full.
Melbourne just looking a little bit steadier in this final quarter. A little more experienced side under pressure.
O'Dwyer can't quite take the mark, but gets the free kick for over the shoulder. Not a great decision, according to the Moorabbin mob. He's gone close to out of bounds, and the umpires pinged him for kicking it out of bounds, even though Phoebe thought he'd marked. Now, Stuart Lowe has got to give it back to Daniels. Now, Lowe wanted to take it. Daniels takes it on the run. Up to centre half forward. Owen is there. Clears the pack. Winmar at the back. Out wide to Sheldon, who's got just a fraction of space. Centres. Chance for St Kilda. Knocked out in defence. The ball plugs in the mud. Desperation there by Gotch. Oh, but great play by Johnson. And he goes to the outer wing. There's nobody out there. A million seagulls. Sprint after the ball. Corkamilus first there. He's got to follow up. Grinter back there for Melbourne. Oh, Grinter played it well. Drew Corkamilus. Found Yates, whose kick was wide for Wilson. And the ball's out of play for a throw-in. St Kilda with the breeze. In this quarter have managed just 1 goal, 2, and Melbourne have kicked 2 straight into the breeze.
Low towards half forward with the kick. It falls behind them. Stretch and Winmar off the ground by Owen. There's a whistle, and it will be a free kick, I think, to Johnson. Kicking in danger. So Alan Johnson has had his problems today, especially marking Sheldon in that second quarter. Has the ball on the outer side. Not a good kick. It falls in short. O'Dwyer couldn't hang on. Recovers well. Boots it towards the wing. Fisted away by Lamb. Sheldon with great courage. The crowd saying the same thing, and so does the umpire. Kicking in danger. So Sheldon's got the ball. Out towards right centre wing for the Saints. Long kick towards half forward. They need goals now, St Kilda. O'Dwyer. The kick of the tired man. It comes to Jackson. Kick towards the outer side. Low, strong mark. Lays it off quickly. It comes to Rice. Rice towards right half forward. Ingleton plays on. Down towards the kick-off line. White's up in front. Burke from behind. White up the ground. Goes again. Shepherded by Johnson. White goes for the short pass intended for Hughes, and it will be thrown in.
Well, the crowd don't like that, and I think they've got reason too, because there's no doubt that Sean White deliberately kicked that one out of bounds.
14 points the difference. Melbourne in front. Comes back to Johnson, who's lifted his game in the latter half. Centre wing. Low off the ground. Pulled off it by Lyon. Wilson threads out a hand pass. Lyon off the ground. Rice. Cannot get a handle on the ball. Gets it just inside the boundary line, but only for Lyon. Away to Dean. His kick inside 50. Chance here for Melbourne. Dersma after it. Sockers off the ground, doesn't make the distance. Fode first back there for St Kilda. Trouble still for St Kilda here. Dersma. There was nobody to give it to. And the umpire said, "You're holding the ball, son." St Kilda's free kick.
So Fode in his defensive goal square. Time running out now for St Kilda. He finds Daniels. Daniels through centre half back. Kicks towards the centre of the ground. Melbourne have got the numbers. Hughes comes over the top, fisting away, but it falls to Russo. Russo kicks towards centre half forward. Gotch rides a bump, gets the hand pass away, but Steins is there. Meantime, there's a whistle. No, play goes on. Winmar throws his body in. Johnson over the top. And umpire Clayton will toss it up. The players hesitated momentarily. There wasn't a whistle. Winmar very busy, as you saw. One down by Harding. Gotch over the ball. Players are very tired now. And it will be thrown up. Inside the last 10 minutes And 14 points is looking a very handy lead to Melbourne. Harding wins it down. Gotch once more. Hurried kick. High in the air. The defence is standing up well. White's over the ball. Tries to go to Johnson. Barker's after it. Sliding in Grinter. And it will be tossed up yet again.
Well, St Kilda lost down here last week to Hawthorn. Their first home loss for the year, but they pushed them all the way to lose by just 3 goals. Newport slides it across to Johnson, but his kick is beautifully smothered by Russo, who has been an absolute champion. 29 possessions, Peter Russo. What a great day's work that is. Still inside 50. St Kilda doing all the attacking, but can't get a score. Owen dragged to ground, and the umpire will throw it in the air. Still 14 points the difference, with just 8.5 minutes left. So St Kilda need 3 goals to win the match, and they've managed just 1 in the opening 20 minutes of this quarter. Steins and O'Dwyer against Harding. Flip through to Hughes, gets the kick in. Frawley punches forward to Russo. He's grabbed when he didn't have it, and Peter Russo will get the free kick. Now, is this a chance for something for St Kilda? Now he's playing for 50. Coming up for possession number 30.
Can they penetrate this time as they go forward? No, they can't. O'Dwyer gets it away to Johnson. To Phoebe, left the ball behind. Deft deflection though, got it across to Jackson. Half smothered the kick. Wilson knocked away by Lamb. Lamb was taken high surely, and he'll get the free kick. Time of the essence now. Lamb goes across field. Rice misses it. Time to pick it up. Still in the centre square. Miscues completely. Knocked on by Dwyer. Ingleton's got it. 50 metres out. Long kick down towards full forward. White comes over the top. There's going to be a free kick to St Kilda. Owen was the man in front. Interfered with by Hughes. So Owen, a chance to kick his 4th goal and pull it back to 8 points. Rod Owen has been lively on the forward line. Always gives a contest. And what a valuable victory this could be for St Kilda if they can pluck it out of the fire. The last week of Tony Lockett's suspension, and they could end those 4 weeks with a record of 2-2, and one of those losses was against Hawthorn. I think a month ago they would have settled for that. Owen gets the goal. They're back in it.
Yes, and that gives St Kilda a glimmer of hope. Still 8 points down. They still need 2 goals.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. We know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. To let the best of men can get. On so many faces, it's plain to see. We give you all we have to give, for all a man can be. Where the race is run, you're the champion.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
Suzuki Vitara is the 4-wheel drive of the year because Suzuki Vitara is a genuine off-roader with the on-road comfort, pure driving pleasure of a prestige passenger car. The power steering, power windows and door mirrors and central locking are optional. The excitement is standard. Suzuki Vitara, soft tops and hard tops for the luxury of 4-wheel drive.
Suzuki, new generation.
New from Arnott's, a cream biscuit for true cream biscuit lovers. Arnott's Hazelnut. Each biscuit base is circled with luscious peaks of rich vanilla cream. Then, to tempt you even more, Arnott's add a center of creamy hazelnut praline. And you'll love the distinctive biscuit, baked extra light and crunchy. Arnott's Hazelnut. 2 irresistible creams in 1 delicious biscuit.
Next,
on Hinch.
A new wonder drug that can help thousands of Australians to a new healthy life. The only catch, it costs $12,000 a year.
It's going to give us life. To us, it's going to be life.
People have sold the family car, even the family home, to afford this life-saving drug. But should the government pay by putting it on the free medicine list?
I think we've got a two-tier system of medicine, one for the rich and one for the poor.
Who foots the bill? Next on Hinch.
Six and a half minutes remaining. St Kilda close enough. Healy out of the middle. Frawley the hand pass back to Corker-Mealis. It beats 2 or 3 tacklers there. And a good running mark taken by Gotch in the mud heap. The margin is 8 points. Gotch to half forward. Hughes in front. Hughes goes back after it. Holding the ball, says the umpire. And St Kilda may be a chance yet. Stuart Lowe takes the kick. Not bad distance out of that mud. Comes to the back. Chance here, or kick by Burke goes across the ground. Love it. Slides the ball across to Hughes. Up to centre wing, Wilson. Russo with him. Wilson losing ground. Well, he played it pretty well, Brian Wilson. Dean. Ball stays in for Lyon. Over the top he goes to a very tired-looking Phoebe. He gains a couple of metres. Gotch. Well played, Bradley Gotch. Oh, he runs into Dersma and is holding the ball.
Gee, that was a quick whistle. Dersma on centre wing. Melbourne 10-4. St Kilda 8-8. Dersma towards half forward. Lamb in front. Frawley the hand pass. Rice fumbled. Opportunity for Jackson. Jackson the meat in the sandwich there. Foden, Rice brought him down. Winmar's got it. Out of defence. Back towards centre wing. Crashing his way through the big fellow O'Dwyer. Brilliantly done. Dersma's over the ball. Still he goes, Dersma. Gets the hand pass away. It's taken by Wilson. And he finds Jackson. Well, credit Steve O'Dwyer. He kept working and working and made something out of nothing.
There's Dennis. He has got on top, Steve O'Dwyer. And there's Jackson slipping in. The kick falling short. But full credit to Steve O'Dwyer. He has done very well in the ruck.
Clock down to 4:25 as Jackson takes the kick and sprays it. No change to the score. That's out of bounds on the full. Melbourne 10-4. St Kilda 8-8. Just over 4 minutes remain.
And the ball goes out of play. Boundary throw in. O'Dwyer in front. Low in the ruck. O'Dwyer taps down. Stretch over the ball. The umpire will throw it up. Well, St Kilda have got to go 3/4 of the length of the ground, score a goal, get it back to the centre and score another one. O'Dwyer wins. Burke over the ball. Comes out to Lowe. Gotch. Hurriedly to his boot. The centre of the ground. Love it, a good mark with the heavy ball. And he'll go back and use up a bit of time. 2 kicks to win for St Kilda. The Demons by 8 points.
Love it. Kicks into the man on the mark. Well, one of a couple. It ricocheted off Owen, but it comes across to Phoebe. Phoebe gives the ball away. Kicks it directly to Lamb. Lamb left half back. Time the enemy now of the Saints. Just over 3 minutes. Lamb back towards midfield. Great mark is taken by Yates. Ton of courage there. Well, I think from memory, the Saints lost their first game on this ground last week to Hawthorn. It could be 2 in a row. And what a setback that will be to their finals aspirations. They contest inside 50. Great mark. Dean over the top. No, play on. It looked a mark. Dean thinks it was. And the umpire will toss it up. It's to be thrown up about 30 metres out from Melbourne's attacking goal. Down the wrong end as far as the Saints are concerned. Here's Winmar. They need 2 goals to win. But the wall almost impenetrable now across the middle. This is Yates. Just over 2 minutes remain.
Kick by Yates to half forward. Low back in defence, takes a mark. They've got Trevor Barker up on the forward line. Ball's not getting near him in the last 5 minutes. Kick by Lowe. Sheldon almost a mark, not paid. He scoops it out of the mud, puts it wide. Rice. St Kilda have to go direct and be very quick about it. Dwyer takes the mark. 1:45 remaining for the match. St Kilda down by 8 points. Dwyer to half forward. Harding drops a mark. There's a free kick for a push in back, and Harding has it. 65 metres out from goal. They need to make the most of this. Barker, punch to the front. Burke in after it, but Lyons back in defence. What a stout game he's played. Jackson across the half-back line, and the mark by Phoebe.
1:20 remaining. Phoebe has this ball at right half-back. Goes in short. Steins. And they can settle it down now, the Demons. And it seems their luck, or is it skill? I guess it's skill, a combination perhaps of the two. Hasn't deserted them in yet another close finish. Steins, Members side, fitting. O'Dwyer takes a strong mark. What a game he's played.
Yes, he's got well on top in this last quarter, Steve O'Dwyer, giving Melbourne plenty of drive.
His 17th kick goes out wide, and Jackson takes the mark.
And the hit-outs are 38-20.
So Melbourne will win this game as Jackson drives long towards half forward. Offhands Wilson. Gets it across towards Healy. Who's been a star. Ill-directed hand pass, though, off the ground. Dwyer. So it's inside the last 30 seconds. Dwyer still going. Great effort. Winmar back to Dwyer. They need a goal and they need to stop the clock. Dwyer long down towards full forward. Off hands once again. The defence stands up as White chips it out towards Steins. He collides with Dwyer. What a titanic last quarter it's been. Harding gets it across towards Winmar.
Sheldon there, but it's over his head, and the mark to Johnson. And that's it. 2 seconds left in the match. Johnson runs it out of defence, and the Demons have won it by 8 points. The 6th time this season that Melbourne have won a match by under 2 kicks. And they won it very narrowly there by 8 points. The goal kickers for Melbourne, 2 to Healy, 2 to Wilson, and for St Kilda, Owen kicked 4 goals. And another Brownlow favourite, or one of the favourites, has been reported. Jim Steins was reported today at Moorabbin. We'll be back with more football action and also Scott Palmer after the break.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP, on the move.
From the time of its first release, Magna has toppled traditional ideas about the ideal Australian family car. Now there is a new range of Magnas with even more style, more comfort, more standard features, more value for money, and exceptional space and quietness. Other considerations fall before new Magna, again in a class of its own. New Magna from Mitsubishi.
This is one way you can look at any lounge at fussy furniture showrooms. But you can also have it like this, or in any fabric and combination you choose. So now imagine how much choice you really have. Flexibility, because the furniture you want is what we're fussiest about.
Home and Away.
I always knew that Ruth Stewart was a nasty piece of work.
A scandal rocks Summer Bay.
Frank and I were having a sleazy affair while Bobby was slaving her guts out at the diner.
A small town has all the ammunition it needs.
It is true. Frank and Ruth have been having an affair.
Presented by Just Jeans. Monday at 6 on 7.
Here's the Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Replay. In the offices of the Sunday Press, sporting editor Scott Palmer, and some interesting news today. I was down at Moorabbin and I saw the Melbourne players leaving the ground about 5 or 10 minutes afterwards in dressing gowns with mud in their ears.
Sabotage, they're calling it, Drew. Yes, there's the big shower controversy down there. And John Northey walked the players out in disgust after no water was in the dressing rooms.
Second week in a row.
Yeah, second week in a row. Hawthorn were for the first court. He marched them back to the Junction Oval, and we've got proof here now that they did go down there and take a shower at the Junction Oval to clean up. But there's going to be more on this after this match, I can assure you of that.
Was that no showers or just cold water?
No water at all. There was a plumber there during the week, and apparently the City Council carried out some inspection as well. But 20 minutes before the game they were working, but when the Demons ran in after the match, not a drop.
But the St Kilda blokes got a shower?
They really got a shower, yeah.
Now, I believe that Tony Lockett, who's now served his suspension, but he hasn't been turning up to the matches.
There was a mixed feeling down there today. Baldock stressed some concern that he hasn't seen the last 4 matches while he's been on suspension. But the club then gave an explanation that he was given a clearance not to come down to the matches. The fact that he had trouble driving down from Ballarat on a Saturday. But some people down there were just upset that he hasn't been able to see the young Saints in the last 4 weeks when he perhaps could have been a bit of help to him off the field.
And Scott, in our office this morning, Jim Steins was being touted as one of the Brownlow favourites. He's gone in the umpire's book.
6-1 he was overnight. I'm not too sure how he'll be on Monday night because he reported for striking his old teammate Steve Turner with a left fist to the right side of the face. And it's another problem for the state selectors, I suppose, if he's rubbed out on Monday night.
I'll say, and a couple of reports in the Collingwood match as well.
Tony Shaw is reported by 2 umpires. He hit, allegedly hit, Wayne Swass. And he did put a hand down to try and help Wayne. Everyone thought it was an apology, but Wayne said no, he just told me to get up. And of course Gavin Krasiska was reported as well out there. Lee Matthews said it's a worrying thing, but we'll just have to wait and see on Monday night.
Now with Fitzroy, was there some talk today about potential new owners?
Well no, Leon Weigard got up at the members' luncheon today and put to rest a lot of rumours that have been circulating around Melbourne through the week. One was that a business tycoon of the type of John Elliott had been going around buying up shares in the Lions. But Leon pointed out that it's all a fake, a hoax. The Fitzroy people don't worry about it.
And Richard Osborne injured again.
Yes, he went down on the same ankle. It's kept him out for a few weeks. He was rushed straight off the ground. The Lions aren't saying too much about it, but it does look fairly serious for the next few weeks anyway.
Now, Scott, just the last one. I believe they moved the centre bounce area at Windy Hill.
Yes, they moved it away from the mud. And Kevin Sheedy said, good work by Bill Della, but Mickey Malthouse said, not good work. He said, it didn't help us at all. We're not as skilled as Essendon. We would have preferred it to be back in the mud heap.
All right, Scott. Well, thanks for that, and we look forward to the paper in the morning and, of course, your attendance here in Sports World about 11 o'clock.
Keep punching, mate.
Good on you. Scott Palmer from the Sunday Press. And we'll be back with more action in Saturday Night Replay with the best of the action from Collingwood, North Melbourne.
That's it. Had enough. I understand you've worked all your life and you can't afford a holiday.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere but here.
Okay, let's do it.
What with?
Read this.
You've got this much? We've got this much? How did we do this?
It's called savings, Dan. Remember savings comes before spending.
Bit of interest.
Every day of the year.
I can't take this. You saved it. It's your money.
No, it's our money, Stan.
For a minimum deposit of $50, a State Bank investment account allows you to watch your money grow while you earn high interest calculated daily, and your money's at call.
Seems a shame to spend it.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
State Bank investment account. We never forget. It's your money.
Moving the troops effectively takes skill and experience. Doing it economically takes Nissan know-how.
During his winter campaign, your Nissan dealer is under orders to move out the Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan's four-wheel drive freedom machine, from $23,990, and clear stocks of the roomy 8-seater Nissan Nomad.
That's Nissan know-how. That's a magnificent offer.
You know the feeling, stuffy head, nagging cough. And your throat feels like it's on fire. When your throat's on fire, why not try Alan's Anticol? With menthol, thymol, vitamin C, and a soothing cold-relieving centre. Anticol. It can help put out the fire in your throat.
They say it's the little things that mean such a lot. All petrol's the same, but to Caltex, it's not. Everybody's car needs a good friend, so here's what we've got.
Techron Premium Unleaded, a cleaner running fuel from Caltex.
Let Caltex share the driving with you.
Sunday, the mystery of Rocky Mountain continues.
Looks as if they've been adopted.
There's only one way to escape.
We'll have to sneak out when they're asleep.
But Sam's not so sure.
Well, I don't see that Alice wants me to go.
Then, just when it looks like they're home and safe,
You scared them away.
someone with far more sinister plans is also after the Bigfoot.
Got one.
But not if the kids can help it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Bigfoot.
The conclusion, presented by Uncle Toby's Sunday.
Now to the match between Collingwood and North Melbourne, 5th and 6th on the ladder. In the last 2 weeks since the wet arrived, Collingwood had won both their matches and North had had a 1-1 result. But this match was a dry match because Victoria Park, which had had a rest for quite a while, was in the best condition of any of the league grounds. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the first half, and the commentators at Victoria Park, Peter Landy, Peter McKenna and Don Scott.
Bounce out of the 60s with just about every player around the ball. Kicked away by Martin. Doesn't kick it very far. Matthew Larkin gets it in turn out towards Bryce. Up towards the left forward pocket. Oh, that's a great mark dragged in by Cracker. It's Phil Cracker. Tremendous grab, Peter.
That was a magnificent mark.
Now, directly in front of goal. If he can get some firm footing there with the unique Cracker kicking style, he should be okay.
And he is. Two champions, Peter Dacos and Matthew Larkin, both picking up one another, or Larkin the job on Dacos.
I guess Dacos a chance for the Brownlow now in view of recent events. This is Mullane again. That's a very high kick. It'll land round about 45 metres out from goal. Thumped away by McCarthy, who's having a great year. Socked away by Mullane again. Almost into the 10-metre square. Brown off the ground. Looks pretty good. Goal umpire says full points. That's a high bomb. I don't know whether the end result. No, Barwick missed the mark. So North Melbourne off the hook there, actually, because it wasn't the best delivered kick of all time. Kick by Smith, who's been taken down there by Mick McGuan. McGuan, short of left half forward. Target is Manson at the back. Couldn't grab it. Alexander, snapshot, will go pretty close. Almost drops on the line, but it clears it by a metre for 4 points.
He's 60 metres out. Brings it towards half forward. Tuddenham and Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw chips in front and takes a good solid mark 35 metres out from goal.
I think on today's like today, I'd be inclined to go for the torpedo punt when trying for distance.
Tony Shaw from directly in front has popped it through for a goal.
By Bayliss. Ramiro dives on top of it through the arms of Renstead. Tuddenham 55 metres out, won't get the distance. Bayliss marks about 30 metres out. But the fact that other players have been brought into the attack to kick goals. Bayliss is one of them, should get the distance from there. He does, the accuracy looks good. It's a goal, Collingwood's fourth.
Ben Buckley, lovely looking kick. They are kicking the end favoured by the breeze, but they're not playing well. Brown to McGuan. McGuan, the long driving kick. He's put it through. A great goal by Mick McGuan. And little things like that can spark a side off. Punched away by Kelly, doing a good job at half-back. Now he's lost it. Oh, the North players looked at each other again. Phil Cracker to Larkin. They need him firing. Larkin's gone short. Fairley will centre it. Here's a chance for McCarthy at the back. Flies off. Brilliant mark, McCarthy.
You summed it up. That was a brilliant mark.
Very talented player, this man, John McCarthy. They need this. He kicks and he goals for North.
In the second term. Over the top, Bryce. Larkin looks for Phil Cracker. Will he give it to Tudor? Is this going to be the young man's first goal in senior football? It's not a bad sort of a kick. And it is.
Collingwood lead. North Melbourne all of a sudden have lifted their game. They're playing better. Larkin's come right into it. Oh, that could be a free kick on Gavin Brown. No, holding the ball. I thought that might have been in the back.
So did I.
Larkin from the centre. He's really coming good, and that's made a big difference to North. Here's McCarthy. Oh! Another great mark. Oh, what a leap, Don. McCarthy from 45 metres directly in front. Oh, he's put it through. They're back in business, North.
McCarthy's kicked a couple of goals, certainly. Jimmy Cracker, good hip and shoulder, put him out of business. Kerrison, short kick to his brother Phil Cracker. That's not a bad sort of a kick from Phil. I think it's his second goal. It is.
Collingwood led by 21 points at quarter time, but North hit back in the second quarter and the margin just 6 points at the long break. We pick up the action in the third quarter. There's been no addition to the score.
Paul Hawke at halfback, a vital quarter of football coming up. This quarter could even decide the whole final five for the year. Martin, geez, battled hard in defence. His rightful position in that second quarter. Kicked off the ground, straight to Kickett. He copped one high. Derek Kickett beautifully out to Ross Smith. Over to Cracker. This is Phil Cracker. Oh, good skills. Gets his boot the ball. And the mark has been taken by McGuan. McGuan wide to Barwick. Barwick, oh, what did he handball that one? It was meant for Krasiska. Off the ground, John Law and Barwick. Charge at the ball. This is Banks at half forward. Back to Dacos. Oh, great effort by Dacos to get away. Up towards half forward. Chance now for Paul Tuddenham against Longmire. Dacos is there also. It's tapped away straight to Longmire. The dangerous Dacos in after it. And the umpire said he was tripped.
He was legged on that occasion. Longmire should have gone to the boundary line. Just got a fist of the ball. I know he's attempting to do it, but he should have made a better effort and got it over the boundary line.
Well, Dacos wants to short pass this. Now he's going for the torpedo punt. Oh, look at that kick. A goal.
Well, that is the value of the old torpedo punt. When you're distance from goal, you go with it. It always covers the distance better than the drop punt. And on a day like today, when the ball is a little bit slippery, you can get onto them. And here's the infringement. Leg there. And this is the kick. A nice kick. Poetry in motion. And it's a nice feeling when they come off the torpedo punt.
Back into the centre. Goal to Dacos. Schwass out of the centre for North Melbourne. Collingwood again with some breathing space after that goal by number 35 for Collingwood, Peter Dacos. This is Banks, though. There hasn't done too much today. Krasiska over to Paul Hawke, 35 metres out. Excellent smother by Ackley. But Collingwood still with the numbers. Mullane gets the hand pass to Tuddenham. Point blank range and goals.
They ran that well down the ground then, Collingwood. I thought the first one should have gone across to Krasiska. I think the player at fault there was Banks. Krasiska had run on and then he finally got it across to Krasiska. And then Krasiska over to Hawke, and what a great smother there by Ackley. But then they set it up again. Tuddenham running outside Mullane. Had the option of Bayliss in the centre, but in the square. But from point blank range, Paul Tuddenham, his first goal after kicking 2 points.
11 possessions to Tuddenham, his first goal. The only Collingwood player with 2 goals is Peter Dacos, and he kicked the one before Paul Tuddenham. The lead now enjoyed by the Magpies is 18 points after it was 6 points at half-time.
Another new ball out there as the ball was kicked out of the ground. The main scoreboard end. 8-11 played, 6-5. A vital few minutes coming up. That was a lovely goal to Collingwood. Good teamwork down the ground. Now will the umpire view this one? I think he'll bounce it. No, play on as Monkhurst tries to get it out of the centre. Kickett is in after it. Siska. Renstead off the ground, kicks it straight to Martin, and the umpire has, yes, he's paid the mark. I didn't think
actually, no, interesting. One umpire said play on, the other one paid the mark.
Exactly, Don.
Well, I was looking at the right umpire and I thought he hasn't paid it, but the other one paid it. So, well, it's a mark anyway to Martin. Martin to centre wing. Fisted away, down the ground it goes. Renstead's there, tries to tap it on. God, great play, Derek Kickett. Beautiful football, Kickett. quick kick down towards the pocket. The series had a bad day. Tony Shaw's well on top there. Back it comes to centre wing. The loose ball is with Kerrison, tackled by Cracker. A quick kick back to Larkin, who had a great second quarter. Larkin's gone wide. He's found David Dwyer. The short one is on kick at a diving attempt, but a poor pass by Dwyer. That allows Krasiska to come on the right foot and find Dennis Banks. He can't hold on to the mark out on centre wing. And eventually the ball is forced over the line. There's Dennis Banks. Been around a long time. Lee Matthews would be very happy with his first few minutes of play in the third quarter. Monkhurst. Now, is that a free kick? Yes, against Monkhurst. It's going the way of Paul Bryce. Bryce from centre wing. Brings it across the ground, fairly up in front. Lost it. McCarthy's now is up on that half-forward line. Kicked away by Kerrison. Danger for North Melbourne, but Martin will lead in the race for it. He's lost it, though, to Tuddenham. Tuddenham to Mullane. Mullane short. Good play to Bayliss. Yes, good play by the Magpies. You can't afford to fumble in modern-day football, Don.
Just looking at Bayliss then, Peter, he's not a big player, but whether he's starting in front and giving the impression of being quick, but he certainly has led Longmire to quite a few balls. And today he's leading very quickly.
Mark Bayliss has already kicked one goal. He is only 30 metres out, almost directly in front. And that looks good. It's another one to the Magpies.
These bank robbers don't come in the front door with a mask and a gun. They're the thieves of the electronic age who ripped off $400,000 by opening false accounts, transferring the bank's own funds via computer and withdrawing the cash. It's computer crime on a big scale. This railway station has become a nightmare for women alone in the dark. The victims' descriptions could help you identify their attacker. 21 shows to air, 20 criminals off the streets. Australia's Most Wanted, Sunday.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks.
No, let me. Waiter, drinks all around.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
It's the incredible once-a-year sale at IKEA Moorabbin, the incredible furniture store from Sweden. The discounts go up to 50% on thousands of items. Incredible. Only at IKEA Moorabbin, Nepean Highway. Be incredibly quick.
Some people are just too lazy to buckle up in the back seat. Strange, really. Because backseat passengers have snapped their spines and ended up paralyzed for life, been flung forward and caused vicious injuries to front seat passengers, been violently thrown out and suffered horrific facial scarring. Buckle up in the back.
Inspection in 5 minutes!
The Sergeant Major's a tough judge of appearance, but his men have an advantage. The new Schick advantage. The handle is ergonomically designed. The micro heads, fixed or pivoting, shaves tight spots easily. One push, it's clean. For a uniformly clean shave.
Haven't we forgotten something?
Get the Schick advantage.
Since it was first released, Magna has toppled traditional ideas about the ideal Australian family car. Now, there is a new range of Magnas with even more style, more comfort, more standard features, more value, and exceptional space and quietness. Other considerations fall before a new Magna, again, in a class of its own.
New Magna from Mitsubishi.
3 goals to Collingwood kicked in this quarter, and that's a pretty good start for the Magpies with the win. Barwick, good tackle by Phil Cracker. Barwick still gets his kick in up to midfield. Jamie Turner in possession. 20-metre hand pass to Dacos. Fires it around Larkin, onto Krasiska. Tudor just about catches him. Great tackle by the youngster. And gives Smith the opportunity to clear, which he can't. Manson tries to get through. Blocked by Martin again. Ball scooped out to the umpire nearly. Renstead. Hawke. Krasiska. Turner. Actually, it was McGuan. Two North Melbourne players are there. Martin is on the bottom of the stack-up. Free kick going North Melbourne's way for on the shoulder. And it will be taken by Martin.
Kick it off for North Melbourne, Peter.
I think he'll be back on again in a minute because Ramiro up there is injured.
It's a bit proppy. Martin goes to the outer side. Two North Melbourne players are there. It comes down to Dwyer and turn on to Ackley. Ackley from the left centre wing. Shocking kick by the veteran defender. Straight to Jamie Turner, who kicks it back beautifully with a spiral punt. Knocked away by Bryce. Kerrison's playing a good game, but he can't get to it. And the ball out of bounds on Collingwood's attacking side of centre wing. The forlorn figure, it would appear, of Derek Kickett. And it looks as though he's about to rejoin his teammates in the fray. Phil Cracker, Jim Cracker it is. And a short pass marked by Fairley in front of Morwood. Fairley from left centre wing. Not much on offer in North Melbourne's attacking zone. Knocked away by McGuan. Back to Morwood. Collingwood have the numbers again. This is Dacos. Back to Monkhurst, who ran into his teammate there. Tuddenham. A beautiful slap onto Renstead, who got caught pretty quickly. That was Brown, actually, that got caught. And the ball finally kicked out, but it's going to be a Collingwood free kick. It will be taken by Paul Hawke. Just short of the right half forward flank. Gets around Ben Buckley. Manson at the back. Martin in front. Law, well tackled, and drops the ball. North, can they get clear? Don't want any more goals scored by Collingwood this quarter. Brown, well, marks and plays on quickly, has a snapshot at goal. The ball past Bayliss, and it rolls through from behind. So a good quarter so far by Collingwood, and they've still got just on 16 minutes left in this term to build on their lead. North has the breeze in the final term, 9-12 to 6-5.
Kick it off for North Melbourne, and Ramiro has gone off holding that arm, injured right arm.
Michael Martin has battled very, very hard. Ackley has had a touch of the fumbles at times. Tried hard. Peter German, long kick up towards half forward. Tudor used his body beautifully to allow his teammate Larkin to come through. Back it comes to Tudor onto the left foot. Doesn't travel very far at all. And over the line.
Let's go down to Michael Roberts with some news on the injuries.
Yeah, Jose Ramiro replaced Derek Kickett, and as soon as he ran on, he had the stuffing knocked right out of him and suffering from slight concussion, and he's just nursing himself at the moment.
Morwood at half-back for Collingwood, shuffles it across to Murray Renstead, the former West Coast Eagle. Renstead to half-forward, punched away from Martin. He's on top of Manson there at half-back. John Law trying to tap it on. He's got it. Good play by Law. Quick kick. There's no one there for North, and Krasiska takes the mark. He sees a loose man out wide in Barwick. Phil Cracker. Now, is it a mark? No, the umpire didn't play it. Barwick appealing for the free kick. Players diving on top of it to push in the back to Collingwood. Straight in the middle of the back of Murray Renstead went Ben Buckley. This is Renstead. Collingwood getting on top of the breeze. Renstead, a lovely looking kick. Longmire fist away. Now a chance for Collingwood as it's pushed on to Bayliss. Bayliss wide to Barwick. Barwick at open goal, kicks. And it could be another kick. He had missed the goal, but it's going to be another kick to Doug Barwick. And he's trying to remonstrate, and Rowan Saws saying, get back and have your kick. Doug Barwick from 20 metres. Well, no doubt about that. A push right in the centre of the back, so the umpire dead right. So 10 kicks and 5 handballs, Doug Barwick. He's a pretty good player for Fitzroy to just let go. Barwick from 20 metres has popped it through for a goal.
And the runner, would you believe, has gone out to John Longmire. I wondered when he would run out there, because Longmire has given away 2 free kicks, and both have resulted in goals. The first was to Dacos, And this is the second. Rather indiscriminate free kick there. And another goal. And the runner was dispatched immediately from the bench and spoke to the fullback, John Longmire, hoping he won't do it again.
Goal to Doug Barwick has made the difference now, 31 points, and it would be hard to see even at this stage North Melbourne getting back into it. They haven't scored in this quarter. Been a pretty poor effort so far. Buckley will need to get a rattle on shortly, as Collingwood still has about half the quarter left with the breeze. In fact, 13 and a half minutes. So North needs some scoring, and quickly. Matthew Larkin, who was the catalyst in the second quarter to get them back into it, has been very quiet. Turner and turn back to Renstead. Renstead, the ball slews off the side of his boot. Oh, great mark by Dennis Banks, a one-hander. Banks at the left centre wing, centering kick. He's got Tuddenham as the target, who takes the mark in front of Martin. Still inside the centre square is Paul Tuddenham. He's gone out wide, right on the 50-metre mark is German. Gets grabbed from behind by Bayliss. Backup support from Mullane. Mullane short, Manson marks and can run in. This will be another one.
Well, there is an onslaught, and the onslaught being inflicted on North Melbourne by Collingwood, and they've got the run on Collingwood. How do you stop a run on? Well, firstly, North Melbourne have just got a man up all over the ground, play between their man and the ball, and they cannot allow these Collingwood fellows to get away. Otherwise, create a diversion, any type of diversion, just to stop this run. Maybe the old-fashioned way at Collingwood was to start a fight.
I'll turn it up.
And you then distract your opponent, and then you start to come back into the game.
37 points now the difference after Manson's goal, and still 12 and a half minutes left with the breeze for this quarter for Collingwood, and they're really doing it well. This is Morwood now, hooks the ball back towards centre wing, thumped further forward by Buckley for North Melbourne, and Collingwood again at the form of the ball through Banks, and he nearly puts that out of bounds on the full, but it will be a throw-in on centre wing. North Melbourne still to score in this third term. So whatever Lee Matthews said to his charges at half-time has certainly worked. Obviously long kicking's the order of the day. Possibly a few other things as well. Schwass, wobbly kick, only gets as far as Jamie Turner. And Turner's kick back towards centre field. Renstead's had a good third term. Propping in front for North Melbourne is Smith, who didn't come out with the ball. Again, it's a Collingwood ball. Through their skipper, Tony Shaw. Bayliss leading out well and marks right on 50. And with the breeze behind him, Peter, you'd know whether he could make it from there.
That was set up by Murray Renstead. Murray Renstead in the centre of the ground, butted up well and got a quick handball across to Tony Shaw, and Shaw picked the gap. It seemed to open up for him. North Melbourne fellows parted. And a great lead by Bayliss.
Well, he has led well today. Donny's kicked two. Oh, he's off the side of the boot this time. Chance for someone to take a big mark. Manson is there juggling. Here's a chance for Tuddenham. He's put it through.
I don't know, Jono. Have a look at this. Car's got a whole computer system that actually tells you what's wrong with it. And those backyard boys, I think it's just a question of changing a couple of these, I don't know. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you better look at the distributor cap. Could be cracked. It's probably non-genuine too.
Yeah, doing that.
Commodore's all finished. Have a listen to this.
Love it.
Stan Cash is still reducing stock at Victoria's lowest prices. Here's proof. Microwave with timer and defrost, a ridiculous $199. That's Victoria's lowest price. Simpson Genesis heavy-duty washer, a crazy $545 with $40 guaranteed trade-in. 14-inch black and white TV now only $99. Panamex powerful pan heater with safety cutter, $39.50. Wow, it's unbeatable, but only while stocks last at all Stan Cash stores.
If you want to save cash, come to the great Stan Cash.
That's true.
There are special moments that you wish could happen every day. That tender touch, that winning smile, mean more than words can say. And Arnott's chocolate biscuits are the ones they love the best. Tim Tam, caramel crowns, fruit and nut, mint slice and the rest. Yes, Arnott's chocolate biscuits are the ones they love the best.
G'day, Bill. How's it going?
Flat out, mate. I've got to get this load out to Tandy stores for their warehouse sale.
Warehouse is that away?
This is going into Tandy stores, so that everyone can get in on the deals.
Any good?
Up to 60% off regular prices.
Yeah?
Yeah, super deals on stereo gear, equalisers, cassette recorders, radios, toys, phones.
Oh, where's the nearest Tandy store?
There's one just round the corner.
Tandy's up to 60% off warehouse sale is on now at a Tandy store near you.
I don't smoke. It's the only way to stay ahead of the game.
Quitters are winners. Quitters are ahead. Because when you quit, you're ready and fit to let your body do its best. Let your body do its best. Victorians love football. We invented the game. We've done it before. We'll do it again. It's our claim to fame. No pain, no gain. It's all B-I-C-T-O-R-I-A, B-I-C-T-O-R-Y. She'll lead to victory, go. B-I-C-T-O-R-I-A, B-I-C-T-O-R-Y. She'll lead to victory, go.
A brilliant quarter by Collingwood. They lead by 6-7. So it's going to take a huge effort by North. They need a couple of quick goals. Larkin to Derek Kickett. Oh, he went for that kick. Luck's a fortune. He went for the big torpedo again. And it just fell into the hands of McCarthy.
Good pass, Peter.
Well, he'll claim it in the showers after the game. I bet you they're hoping for some hot showers too. 6 kicks. John McCarthy, he's already kicked 2 goals. And they need 3 or 4 quick goals, North Melbourne, or they might be right out of business. McCarthy, difficult to score goals at that end. Oh, that's a nice looking drop punt. I think he's floated it through for a goal. He has.
Not much reaction from the crowd. John McCarthy's goal. Not too many Collingwood, North Melbourne fans out here, but that's his 3rd goal, John McCarthy. Playing in that full forward position, and as Peter mentioned, it was an indiscriminate kick, a very hurried kick coming from Derek Kickett. Larkin got the ball out of the centre and going for distance, Larkin hooked the ball. But again, if you're in front, you reap the reward, and he was on that occasion, John McCarthy.
McCarthy's 3rd goal and North Melbourne's 1st score in this 3rd term. McCarthy got 2 of those goals in the 2nd quarter after spectacular marks. And so far in the game, certainly statistically, is their only real forward. Ball up at midfield. Monkhurst. Larkin dispossessed by Renstead. Back to John Law. Kick is well smothered. That was by Dacos himself. Larkin put the body in, but has the ball socketed away from him. Out towards left half forward, and Barwick, who kicks it into the pocket for Bayliss. And the grab is just inside the line. But as you can see in that shot, a pretty acute angle. Bayliss has kicked 2. It's the breeze, bring it back, and it brought it back pretty close to a major score, but only a minor one. And 1 behind to the Magpies. With just under 9 minutes left in the term, they've kicked 6 goals this quarter. In fact, 6 goals, 2 to North Melbourne, 1 solitary goal. The North need better things. They wouldn't want too big a deficit going into the last quarter. Barwick has to punch the ball clear, which he does effectively from Larkin. Excellent smother down there from Barwick, who's having a good 3rd term, and so too many of his teammates. So boundary throw in, part of the wettest section of Victoria Park. Tudor over to Schwass. Back to Tudor. The rookie goes goalward, but is very close to out of bounds on the full. Boundary umpire says it is.
Interesting move there. Ackley going off and being replaced by Mark Lyle, the ruckman.
McGuan takes the free kick.
And Bryce has gone to the full back position. Longmire moved from that, and now Bryce is picking up Bayliss and Lyle into the ruck.
Krasiska and then Tudor, the kick getters. As the ball comes up to midfield, it's going to be a Collingwood free kick. I think we're in the back. It'll be taken down there by Gavin Krasiska again. Right on the edge of the square, Krasiska kicks it to the other side of it. No one can take the mark. Knocked further forward by Barwick again. And this is Mullane. Gets around Schwass. Centering kick, tries for Bayliss, couldn't find him. Martin tries to go through with the hand pass. Longmire's hand pass is effective. And North Melbourne through Smith. A long ball up to centre half forward.
Good kick too. Morwood took front position. It's tapped away. Oh, Krasiska ran into a brick wall. He's Ben Buckley trying to get his boot to ball. Umpire calls play on as Renstead comes out of the centre. Gavin Brown to Dacos. Oh, look at the way he shrugged that tackle. Dacos from 50 metres loses his boot as he kicks it. Bayliss the fly, and eventually it's tapped through. The boot nearly went as far as the ball.
Interesting, Bryce now on Bayliss. Bryce in front, whereas Longmire was caught behind all the time, and now Longmire is playing on the smaller Tuddenham, so that'll be an interesting matchup with Ackley off the ground.
Paul Bryce certainly gives 100%. Barwick is the flyer. Loose ball is with Mullane. Can he keep it in play? It's close to the line. He doesn't attempt to do so. We have just under 7 minutes of play left in this third quarter. Derek kick it off the ground again. Well, his opponent's had a couple of easy marks uncontested. That's why he's off. Manson. Renstead. Monkhurst. Oh, well done by Ross Smith. Over to Larkin. Good use of body. Ramiro boots it off the ground. Straight to Morwood, is well on top of Fairley. Gavin Brown. Oh, well done. Over to Mullane, and a throw. And the umpire right on the scene said he scooped that one up. Be a free kick to David Dwyer. Or is it David Dwyer, as Don Scott was telling me at half-time? Centre wing. Mullane. Soccer tactics, finds Morwood. Morwood will go inside with a hand pass. Tony Shaw. He's gone wide. Gavin Brown with an open goal. Touches it on the ground. Sprints in. Kicks. And I think he's hooked it slightly and through for a behind. He has. So, Don, if Collingwood had have kicked straight, they really could have sewn up this game by now.
Yes, I don't know whether it's a case. I'm actually pondering then, Peter, whether it's a case of North Melbourne's lack of ability, but gee, they haven't shown any desperation against Carlton last week, and also Collingwood today, the way Collingwood are running on in this third quarter.
Bryce has kicked to the half-back line, finds Schwass, in turn Dwyer. Short pass by that player, a little bit too short. Banks fumbles. German. Kerrison thumps the ball down. It's at centre wing. Collingwood again at the fall of the ball. Renstead, Kerrison once more onto Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw back to Krasiska. They're running in numbers. Collingwood. Here's Renstead once more. Finds Barwick. Barwick had a great third quarter and he can kick long. Look at that for a kick. Magnificent from Doug Barwick. And a goal.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
That was the quarter that did it for the Pies. They kicked 8 goals, 8 to 1 straight goal of North Melbourne and finished up running out winners by 52 points. Barwick got 3 goals, Dacos, Tuddenham and Bayliss 2 each, and for North, Phil Cracker got 3 and McCarthy 3. Tony Shaw reported by 2 umpires and Gavin Krasiska reported by 1. We'll be back after the break with highlights of other matches.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP, on the move.
It's war out there, especially in the light truck market. But this winter, Nissan dealers have a secret weapon. This. During his winter campaign, your Nissan dealer has deals on his commercial range, like the Nissan Navara Nugget. At only $12,990, it's Australia's lowest price one-ton ute. Or the big tough Nissan Navara dual cab from $17,990. That's Nissan know-how. That's a magnificent offer.
Terrific! Bring any Uncle Toby's muesli bars, Lisa?
I left them down there. Let's go and get some. Lots of wholesome ingredients like rolled oats, oat bran and fruit. So Uncle Toby's muesli bars are as good for you as they taste.
Hey Lisa, save one for me!
Uncle Toby's muesli bars taste so good, Because they are good.
Hello, Lubadale.
Right, Dave, this is for mobile 16 now. Thank you. Base to mobile 16, I have a job for you.
Moorabbin, your mobile mechanics.
Fit me the power for the roads to thunder. I trust the timing, and I trust no other. Fit me the open road, or out in the road. Fit me that tire power feeling, 'cause that's powerful stuff. Tire power, that's powerful stuff.
Suzuki Vitara is the four-wheel drive of the year because Suzuki Vitara is a genuine off-roader with the on-road comfort and pure driving pleasure of a prestige passenger car. The power steering, power windows and door mirrors and central locking are optional. The excitement is standard. Suzuki Vitara, soft tops and hard tops for the luxury of four-wheel drive.
Suzuki, new generation.
In the sports world at about 11 o'clock, we'll have John Cale, the South Australian coach, for the State of Origin match next week, and we'll also be speaking to Gerard Healy live from the Sydney Cricket Ground. And we'll also be voting for the State Bank Player of the Year award.
At the end of the 89 home and away season, the player voted the State Bank Player of the Year by our Sports World panel will receive a state banking system account worth $10,000. State Bank Victoria. We never forget it's your money.
And now Dixie Marshall takes a look at today's other matches.
Fans at Princes Park had about 2 or 3 minutes to memorise who was who, because after then it was pretty difficult to pick the players apart. A couple who did stand out early were the respective first-term goal scorers, Andrew Lockyer for the Eagles and Steve Kernahan for Carlton, though Justin Madden was prominent too, hovering a kick behind the play. And in term 2, it was Madden's saving grab that got the Blues away on the game's most exciting single passage. The West Coasters didn't get a sniff as Mark Nailey finished off with the first of his 2 goals in a minute. His second put the Blues in front, but 2 fine dobs from Chris Lewis had restored the Eagles' 1-point break at half-time. Simon Verbeek, who spent the first half on the bench, put the Blues in front early in term 3. Then followed amazing scenes in the Carlton goalmouth. David Hart socketed through for what would have been an own goal had the umpy not had second thoughts and the courage to change his mind. But there was no disputing Craig Bradley's goal, which put the Blues 10 points up at three-quarter time. Lockyer brought the Eagles within 4 points early in the final term, but his goal was soon cancelled out by Bradley. And when best on ground Nailey dobbed his third, the Blues had made it 3 out of 3 for Jezza. Heavy rain fell early in the opening quarter at Windy Hill, and in the greasy conditions it took 16 minutes before Michael Werner put the first goal on the board. The Bomber defence was rock solid, and Watson's soccer tactics gave Essendon the break. But when Collins was online, Footscray trailed by just 1 goal at quarter time. Watson had the heavy ball on a string. Werner chipped in for his second, but a basic mistake helped Footscray stay in touch at half time. It wasn't long into the third term that tempers flared and Darren Williams was a casualty for the Bombers. Simon Madden was marking well for Essendon, and although no goals were scored, his efforts helped the Bombers control the quarter. Going into the final term with an 11-point lead, Footscray adopted a never-say-die attitude, and 24 minutes in, Campbell put them within a goal of the lead. But the time clock and a strong Essendon beat the Dogs in the mud. VFL Park, Richmond kicked with the aid of a breeze in the opening term and quickly took control of the game, with veteran full forward Michael Roach bringing up his 600th VFL goal after 9 minutes. The Lions appeared lost and were lucky they weren't further down than 18 points at quarter time after Lee found Powell for the quarter's best passage of play. It took until well into the second term for Fitzroy to find its feet. 2 clever passes from Graham Osborne, one to his brother Richard and the other to Paul Roos, resulting in goals. And when Roos kicked a clever angle goal to make it 2 for the quarter, it was only 7 points the difference at the long interval. In the space of just 7 minutes of the third quarter, the Lions turned that deficit into a 17-point lead, with Richard Osborne coming into his own, even if it was quite obvious he wasn't fully fit. To the Tigers' credit, they did fight back when Fitzroy looked likely to run away and were still in it at the final change. Things got a little heated in the last quarter after Darren Kapler threw his weight around and Roach putting Richmond to within 2 points. But the final 10 minutes belonged totally to Fitzroy, who finished up 28-point victors.
And out of the league ladder, round 13, this is when everybody's played everybody else once. Hawthorn on top by a game from Melbourne, but Geelong have a chance to move ahead of Melbourne tomorrow. Essendon and Collingwood making up the 5, and North slipping 2 games outside the 5. Today's reports, and Tony Shaw reported by 2 umpires, Gavin Krasiska reported by 1. And Jim Steins for allegedly striking a former teammate, Steve Turner. And now a look at what we have on Channel 7 tomorrow. Sports World at 9 o'clock with general sport. And at 12 o'clock we go to live basketball action from the Glass House in Melbourne. The Melbourne Tigers taking on the Adelaide 36ers. Live basketball at midday tomorrow. And then to complete round 13 of the VFL round, at 2 o'clock we go live to Sydney for the Sydney Swans against Geelong. Of course, Sydney got back on the winning list last week, and Geelong have won 6 matches in a row. It's live tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Hope you can join us then. Good night to you all.
Next on 7, MacGyver. Join us tonight at 8:30 for Raymond Burr in his award-winning role as television's #1 attorney. Perry Mason is put to the test in the case of the Shooting Star, your Saturday mystery movie tonight here on 7.
Celenko hoping to continue their steady climb up the ladder. Also tonight we go to Cardinia Park for Geelong's encounter with Fitzroy. And while the Cats have won 7 on the trot, they still remember their losses. And one of those losses was to Fitzroy in round 5.
Yes, a couple of very interesting games tonight. Good evening everyone and welcome once again to Saturday Night Replay.